Hello, my friend. Are you ready to have more clients? I'm your host, Debbie Shadid. I am a master at building businesses. I can help you get more clients with super simple strategies. Plus, I can help you with a mindset so you can overcome the drama and the doubt. So let's get started. All right, so today we're going to talk about time management on the podcast. If you can master time management, you guys are going to make more money. You're going to be less overwhelmed, and you're going to be able to live the life that you want to with your business. So let me take a few minutes here today and run through 12 basics of time management. It's all things that you guys have heard about before, but I'm sure that if I run these by you again, you're going to say, oh yeah, I need to do that, or I need to pay closer attention to this. Once I get past the 12 basic tips to time management, then I'm going to talk to you about some other strategies that you want to keep in mind, and then I'm going to talk to you about 4 things that are stealing your time. All right, so let's go on with the time management basics. Number 1 is to keep your calendar up to date. I know that sounds crazy. Whatever calendar you use, which I would highly recommend one online, literally every time something changes, put it on that calendar and then put the details to what is going on in that calendar. It seems so obvious that you would be able to remember, but if you're fully booked or you're working on being fully booked, you will not be able to remember everything. And the more things that you write down, the more that you get outside of your brain and onto a piece of paper, the more relaxed your brain is and the more creative you can be. Because you've freed up space, you've eliminated the worry about forgetting something, and you've freed up space to be able to create. Also, I want to remind you to set reminders. Now look, you can set reminders for 10 minutes before and 1 hour before, but I also highly recommend that you set reminders for 7 days before, or 24 hours before, 48 hours before, so that whatever comes up, you're never caught off guard. You've always got time to prepare in advance so that you're not overwhelmed by being behind. Number 2, again, remember, I'm going to be basic here. I want you to keep it up to date. This is a bad habit that we all get into, that we write down something on the calendar or we log it in on our Google Calendar, and then somebody tells us, a client tells us, oh, I can't do that. Let's shift this a little bit. And we say, okay. And we don't immediately stop and go right back to the calendar to update it. So number 2 is to update it. Number 3 is to allow enough time to get everything done, each task. Now, I'm really guilty of this. I'll decide on my calendar, I'm going to schedule time to write an email. And oftentimes I underestimate the amount of time that it's going to take to complete that task. And that's what I'm asking you to do, is make sure that you allow enough time. If you guys are going to write an email, that's one thing. It'll take X amount of minutes. But then you have to proofread it. If you're going to put it into Flowdesk or whatever mail service you use, you're going to add that. You're going to have some graphic design work. And then you're going to pick your list, maybe make some edits to your list, and you're going to schedule it. So it takes more than 30 minutes to do that. So make sure that you allow time for each task that you add to your calendar. All right, number 4 is to color block on your calendar. Now, all of my private coaching calls are red. All of the calls that I have with my own personal coach are green. All of my group coaching is coral. So I have everything on there in a different color. I even have all the things that have to do with payments that are coming out of my checking account. You know, all those automatic payments and debits are in gray. I have birthdays in purple. So at a glance, I can look at my calendar and see exactly what is going on. So I highly recommend color blocking. Number 5, you could also pick themed days. This is something that I do teach in my coaching when we talk about being able to run your business efficiently, is to decide, like, Friday is for finances. I'm going to make sure that I go through, update all my QuickBooks or FreshBooks or whatever it is, get your invoices out, get your money collected. All that's going to take place on Friday. On Wednesday, it could be the day that every Wednesday you do some sort of networking and you do your social media. So that can be kind of how you do it. Each day will have a different theme. All right, number 6 is to use the Pomodoro method. Now, I don't care if you use that particular method, but if you guys don't know what that is, let me give you a quick, brief highlight of that. It's basically a method of eliminating all distractions where you work for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. 25 minutes and a 5-minute break. And there's a little variation with how they talk about doing it, but it's generally that you do like 2 or 3 full cycles and then you take a little bit longer break. You guys can Google that Pomodoro method. But the idea is that you take 25 minutes and you work on one thing and you literally do not let yourself go. Check an email, look at the notification on your phone, nothing. It is 25 minutes of focus time and then a 5-minute break. And again, adjust that according to what works for you. All right, number 7 is to eliminate distractions. Again, I know this sounds so obvious, but get yourself in a workspace that is distraction-free, the very best that you can. I know some of you guys are home with kids and you've got lots of things going on, but find a place where you're not disturbed because you can get so much more done in such a short amount of time. Number 8, get up and get dressed. Like, treat this like you are the CEO of your company because you are, and get yourself to work. Get an office in your house, and I don't care if it is in the corner of a bedroom. Find an office space in your house that is your place. Nobody else puts anything there. And get yourself dressed and go to work. I mean, I get dressed full on every single day, just like I was going to a job. My job is my business. I am the boss of my business, so I show up in that way. Number 9, keep one notebook for everything. So I use spiral notebooks and I do not write on Post-it notes. I do not write anywhere else if there's messages for anything or client notes, your to-do list, all of that goes into one notebook. Every time you write in that notebook, you put today's date and you write something down. That notebook, you use the same notebook until it's full. So when you're thinking, oh gosh, I don't know what I was supposed to do about that, or I need to double check and make sure I've done everything, it's all in one place. One place for everything until that notebook is full. Then you put that on your shelf and you start a new notebook. And then you have this way to go back and look and see who said what on what date and what, all my ideas are in one place. Everything is there. All right, number 10 is to pick up after yourself so that you don't have distractions around you. Now, again, I know that sounds kind of like, okay, Debbie, sure. But look, all the stuff that is on your desk, just pick it up, put it in a pile, and set it behind you. You do not want to be having the anthropology catalog on your desk when you are trying to work because you're much more tempted to pick up that catalog and start flipping through it, looking to see what's new in anthropology. So don't do that to yourself. Put it all away, put it in a pile, and set it somewhere else. Number 11 is to make sure that you are scheduling your time accordingly on your calendar. Now, what I mean is, if you have an appointment with somebody and you're going to a coffee shop to meet him at 11 o'clock, do not block off your calendar from 11 to 12 because that doesn't allow time for you to get there and time for you to come home. So you want to block your calendar from 10:30 until, let's say, 12:30. The reason why this is so important is because if you are using online scheduling, and I certainly hope you are, whether that would be Acuity or Calendly or whatever format you use, those online scheduling softwares where your clients can schedule their consultations or where they can schedule their coaching calls, whatever it is, those calendars sync with your Google Calendar. And so you can open up office hours on your Acuity or your Calendly, your business calendar, right, where the customer clicks and says, schedule your time here. You can decide, I meet with clients on Tuesday and Thursday from 12 until 7. And then you update your own personal Google Calendar with appointments, and it will override that calendar. So if a girlfriend asks you to go to lunch on Tuesday at 12 and you're not going to be back until 2, you block off on your Google Calendar from 12 until 2. It will override that online scheduling calendar that your clients could schedule on, and it will show that time as unavailable. So you don't have to be going back and fixing your business calendar schedule for clients. It will automatically sync with your Google Calendar. All right, number 12 is to set timers on your iPhone and keep track of how much time it takes you to do things. This in itself is something that really helps for me. If I find myself not wanting to do something, like kind of dreading something, or I'm up against a tight deadline, I will literally set the timer for 30 minutes or an hour, and I will set it right in front of me where I see the timer going down, 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 and I'm watching it. And I'm focused and like, oh, geez, I've got 20 minutes left to finish this. Give yourself the gift of constraint and do that with yourself in timing your work. All right, let me give you some additional time management guidelines. You guys want to set regular business hours. You want to tell your clients up front, I work Monday through Thursday, 10 to 5. You can expect return emails from me during those business hours. I will not be available on holidays or weekends. Whatever it is that your hours are, set the expectation up front so everybody knows what they are. The other people that need to be told about your regular business hours is your family, your friends, your kids. Like, look, I go to work from 10 to 5 on Monday through Thursday. That is my work time. Do not schedule anything else during that time. Don't ask me if I can do this for you because those are my work hours. It just basically helps get everybody on the same playing field of what to expect. I want to mention right now, if you are working full-time and your business is your side hustle, and maybe you're taking classes and you have your own coach and you have lots of stuff going on, all I want to know is how many hours you actually have to work on your business. I have actually had clients that said, I have 2 hours a week to work on my business. I said, okay, we're going to schedule 2 hours of set business time a week. That is reality, you guys. If that's what you've got, we just plan accordingly, and then we can decide by priority. If we have 2 hours this week to do the working on our business because we have client calls, we have our full-time job, we have all these other things, then that time can be super focused. That's how you set yourself up for success, is just know how much time you really do have to work on your business. Okay, inbox management. Now we've talked about this. You've heard about this. Only open your inbox a couple times a day. If you guys follow David Allen, he talks about the GTD method, get it done. And you want to go into your inbox a couple of times a day. And his suggestion is that you reply to everything that's going to take you less than 5 minutes, all right then. Right? You immediately answer all those emails back. You file things, you schedule things, you delete things. What you cannot answer right then, you mark as unread. Okay? So that you know to go back and answer that. So if you're going to get in your inbox for 30 minutes a day, you want to go through, don't put anything off. Answer every single one of the emails that you can answer, and then delete the rest and schedule the rest and mark them unread. All right, another strategy for time management is batch working. I also recommend this because once you get in the flow of doing something, you're so much more efficient. Social media is one of the things we hear about all the time. If you will sit down one time a month and work on your social media, I promise you, you can get it done in less than an hour, and it is all scheduled. And then once it's scheduled, you guys, if you have another idea of what you want to do, just go in and add another post. You can also batch work on follow-ups, like if you've got client follow-ups or if you've got invoicing or paperwork, any of that you need to do, batch work, much more efficient with your time. I also want to encourage you to get your to-do list, because some of you guys have really long to-do lists, and I would mark off right now everything that's unimportant. And I would go through that list routinely. I always measure what's important by what's going to actually get you making money faster or what's going to cause you to create more revenue today. Otherwise, most of that stuff can be put off. You can plan to organize those additional things in your down months. And almost everybody has kind of slower seasons or times when they take off. Big projects can wait. I also want to encourage you, finally, if you work at home and you have something that you are really procrastinating on, I would say take yourself to a coffee shop. Just stop all the delaying at home where you can be interrupted by distractions, and it's easy. When it's something you don't want to do, boy, oh boy, you know how it is. It's like, oh, I need to do the laundry. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. Everything else becomes more important than the task that you don't want to do. So take yourself to a coffee shop and work on one thing till you finish it away from home. All right, let me touch really quick on 4 more things that are causing you issues with time management. And I just want to tell you guys, if you fix your calendar and your time management issues, you will make more money. If you know how much time it takes for you and you get things organized on your calendar, you'll have more freedom to actually be able to create more. You'll have more time to be able to connect with people, to build relationships, all of that will actually increase your revenue in the end. You have to become the CEO of your company. The CEO, if you were actually running like a brick and mortar building, which some of you guys listening are, and you were a big CEO of a company, you would have business hours. You would be following your calendar. You would be good at time management because you'd have to be. So make sure you're taking that into consideration. I also want to mention to you guys that you calendar everything. Plan for vacations. Right now, you guys should have vacations through the end of this year and into next year blocked off already. Plan for birthdays, plan for weekends off, plan your kids' schedule. If working out is important to you, then put it on your schedule, just as it is something that you have to do, right? Block that time off. If you're going to be following up with the clients, my goodness, schedule that out. If somebody says to you, the timing's not right now, get back with me in 30 days, or I'll get back with you, after I get done with this next class in 6 weeks, put it on your schedule. And that way, then there's a reminder to follow up. So plan for everything, business and life, all on one calendar. Okay, let me mention to you 4 time stealers. I'm not going to go into it really heavy today, but I just want to mention to you guys, there's 4 things that are really hurting you time management wise. And number 1, that is the lack of decision making. When you become a good decision maker, I just tell you guys, when you make a decision and you don't go back and rethink it and overthink it, my goodness, that will change your business and your life. We waste a lot of time in indecision. All right, the next thing is people pleasing. Where are you going above and beyond that you're not being paid for? Because that needs to stop, you guys. Make sure that you check in with yourself and that you are not going above and beyond over and over for people. And look, if you've got personal friends in your life or family that you just say yes to all the time that you really want to say no to, I'd check in on that, right? Just go ahead and set some limits with people. Tell people, I'm building a business. I have a family. I have a life. This is how much time I have for you. Stop saying yes to the things that you should be saying no to. All right, the next one is about perfectionism. Who can relate to that, right? You waste so much time trying to get things perfect. You're waiting for the perfect time to, launch your business. You're waiting for the perfect time to make this announcement. You're waiting for the perfect time to launch your new website. I don't know what you're waiting for. What is perfect? Today is a perfect day to do it. Perfect is never going to come. Perfect comes by you practicing and doing. So eliminate perfectionism and just go do it. And the last thing that I want to touch base on is procrastination. Look, you guys can control what's happening, and I just want to encourage you to take charge and stop procrastinating. Procrastination kills your dreams. It steals sleep from you because you lay in bed worrying about what you haven't done instead of thinking about what you can do. So, get a hold of your calendar, Go back and listen to this if you need to. Go over those 12 key things about time management and just really get onto yourself about being committed to staying with your calendar. Okay, you guys, have an amazing week. I cannot wait to talk to you guys next week as we start the summer series. We are going to have guests all summer long. And first up is going to be Jill, the money coach. We're going to be having a sleep coach. They're all things that are going to grow you so you can grow your business. We're going to have somebody talking about organizing, somebody talking about calming yourself down. Oh, you guys, so much goodness. All right, have an amazing week. Until next time, guys. Love y'all. Bye-bye. All right, my friends, are you ready to get more clients? Let's go do it. Have an amazing week. And if you guys want that business assessment, I want to help you with your business. DebbieShadid.com/let's chat, LETSCHAT for a free business assessment. Until next time, bye-bye.